All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pals podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Liordi. I still hate saying that, by the way. It really does suck, but I'll get used to it eventually. Before we jump into today's episode with our good pal, Ollie, and three-time guest now, I want to tell you a little bit about what's happening in the city of Toronto and the week I just had. I was currently just in Halifax, and if you've never been, I highly recommend going. This is not an ad or anything, just telling you that I had a great time. I think for three of us, we spent like $1,500, including flight, hotel, food, like everything. Great spot, good food along the water. We went to Lunenburg, small little town, I guess a fisherman's town close by. We also did Fisherman's Cove. We did Peggy's Cove. Peggy's Cove is one of the nicest sunsets I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I'm not even lying on that, and I'm not even getting paid to say this. It's just literally one of the nicest sunsets I've ever seen. It was honestly beautiful. Me, my mom, my dad, we went for Easter weekend, and we had a lovely trip. People really nice out there. The food was great. I was expecting a little bit more oysters, but it's off season right now. It's not really fisherman season because of the weather, but overall, really, really good experience. We had a blast out there, so shout out to the people of Halifax and the city. Amazing. I'll definitely be going back in the future. Some other things happening in the city of Toronto. The Leafs and the Raptors both clinched the playoffs this week. That's massive news if you're a sports fan in the city. With TFC kind of full swing, Jays home openers this week. The Leafs and the Raptors will both be hosting games. The Leafs are playing the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they're going to be hosting them at home for games 1, 2, 5, and potentially 7. And the Raptors are in the play-in tournament, so they're going to be playing against Chicago. Jurassic Park will be open. Maple Leaf Square will be open. So the city's going to be buzzing, especially because this week we've got such nice weather. I think the city's going to be buzzing even more. So make sure you get outside, enjoy yourself. I guess I'll tell you a little bit about this episode. We got our good pal, Ollie. If you don't know who he is, he's been on the pod twice already. So he's our second 3-time guest. He's also like just an overall amazing person. Ollie, I know you're probably going to listen to this, and I fucking love you, man. Always takes care of the boys when we go out. He's partner at Deer Lady and Parlour. So we talked a lot about that. And this episode was actually shot at Deer Lady, right in one of the corner booths. If you see it, go watch it on YouTube or check out the social clips on social media, because the place is honestly gorgeous. And it was funny enough that we were there on the Saturday night before we recorded this last Monday. So it was just honestly a really good experience. We're going to be shooting a lot of podcasts out of there now as we don't have a studio anymore. So you'll see a lot of that background. The staff's amazing at both locations, Deer Lady and Parlour. Parlour is one of the best Sunday fun days in the city. They got great drink specials too. Fuck, this sounds like an ad, but it's really not. It's literally, Parlour is probably my favorite place to go in the city. And Deer Lady is creeping up there now too. I haven't had a bad time at either place. So if you're from the city of Toronto, go check it out. It's down the alley on King between Portland and Bathurst. And listen to the episode. We talk all about it. And we also talk about GreenWood Stakes, which is, I guess, Ollie's horse race that he's a partner in. Good times, good vibes. And yeah, honestly, let's just kind of roll right into it. Let's go, pals. I missed the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm off Instagram like during the week.
Yeah.
So someone called me the other day. I was like, how funny was that April Fool's joke? I'm like, oh, what happened? Like, I missed it. Like, oh, you didn't see Ollie's post? I was like, no, I saw a post of like you pretending to DJ or something. I was like, oh, cool. Maybe Ollie's doing a special set. I didn't even pay attention. She's like, no, it was like all about like Diplo and shit. I was like, what?
Yeah. So we have been planning it for a long time. Actually, Sean has always wanted to do an April Fool's joke for us at Parlour for the longest time. And it's just never like came to fruition where it's just like, oh, we'll do something about the pizza, or like say we're changing cuisine or something like that. And then I was like, well, let's try and like just say that we're having a DJ, since we've been obviously.
Well, you just did one, right?
Yeah, we just did Thomas Jack. We just did Ferric Dawn. So it kind of aligned pretty perfectly with it and how it tied with me going down to Ultra. And then literally from that, it's just like so believable. And like Diplo is that, like, I couldn't do like Calvin Harris.
No, because Calvin would never play like a small room, but correct. Diplo does that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So I was like, let's try it. And with my designer, because at first he was like, let's just do it live. I'm like, no, we have to make it so believable to the fact where it's like he could come here. So when we were launching it, and I'm like, this could like, I was like, I thought it could go big. I didn't think it'd go completely viral, but it went viral really fast. So the lead up with the special guest announcement coming at this, when we blanked it out the name, that was on the Thursday. Friday, the announcement, oh my God, it's Diplo. And the plan was to then on Saturday morning post the April Fools, we got you, blah, 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 blah. But in that process of posting it at 10 a.m., then took it literally took 47 minutes for their management team to reach out to us. And then like 3 calls to me being like, hey,
we're not playing. What the fuck?
You're screwing up all of our other shows. There's like obviously a radius clause. So he's playing, I think, somewhere in Windsor with a Maxim party that I think was affecting it. And then someone here in Ontario is obviously another show is affecting him as well. So it's like you're affecting all the shows and whatever. So it only took 47 minutes to go viral to hit their team. And you can only imagine like with my following and obviously Parlour's following, because they actually hit up Parlour's Instagram. And that's where it's like, okay, before like a legal battle or anything, which that's what I was scared about, was to like ensue from it. So then I was like, okay, let's take it down. Let's post the April Fool's thing now before it goes. But within an hour's time, because I had the post April Fool's, there was on the Parlour Instagram shares, there was over 200. And then on my own was like 147
47 minutes.
47 minutes.
That's wild.
So crazy.
It is believable because like he would play a place like this, you know, like a good like Sunday brunch vibe spot,
and it paired so perfectly because of the Sunday before.
Thomas
Jack. We did a whole production. People are like, holy crap, Parlour's really like putting their Sundays and their DJ performances on the map. So from that, we upset a lot of people, which was kind of funny, and then we also. Like, we pranked a lot of people. So
how many messages did you get personally?
Personally, 150.
That's wild.
Yeah, 100. Like when I first posted, I just waited, and it was like over 47. And then like my iMessages went to like close to 200.
And then probably like the Parlour like secondary inbox was just like, oh my god.
And I had only warned. So this is the whole thing: is that only our GM knew, the other partners knew. My reservation management team knew, and then our social media team. So it's like there was like probably 10 people, but we didn't tell the rest of the staff.
It's like all your servers are like, oh my god, okay,
everyone was so excited because they're like, oh my god, we just sold like 1 million tables, and then me and Alex, our GM, were just trying. I was like, I'm just messaging her like outside of the group, just saying like, okay, this is like we're just gonna say we're sold out, and then my whole thing was when it was blowing up. I was going to be, and my next post after that was going to say, oh my God, overwhelming response. Guest list, a limited guest list link was going to be posted on at 10 a.m. And then that was going to be the April Fool's one.
That's so good. Again, I didn't even hear, I heard about it like after.
A lot of people were upset. There was more people upset. And then there was a lot of people being like, oh, you got me.
Yeah.
And then there was the other people being like, you posted April Fool's to her. I was like, I had to do it.
Well, what are you going to do? Like, it blew up, and man, you can't have like Diplo's team at you because maybe one day they might play here, right?
Well, this is the thing is that Sam Hunt, the agent from Wasserman Group, I was just like playing. I was like, sorry for that, but would love to do a show in the future. He's like, after what has just happened, I don't think this would ever happen again with you guys. And I go, okay, like obviously people are taking it pretty seriously. And then I won't name names, but other people that knew Diplo within the city were messaging Diplo saying, hey man, like can't wait to see you, all this kind of stuff. Like I'm pumped for whatever, but he's asleep on the West Coast because it's only 7 a.m. So it actually turned out to be our most successful like April Fools to date. We've already planned next year's, maybe. I don't know. Now
you're kind of worried.
Now, no, but the best part about it is that it was just so big that people forgot it was actually April Fool's, and I might have just ruined April Fool's for everybody this year because it just happened so fast, and that just put a whole realization that Saturday was April 1st.
That's so
what was
funny.
pretty crazy.
Now, honestly, hearing about it, I was like, "Oh, that's a great April Fool's." And like, I wish I saw it all live. Like, I missed the whole joke. I actually missed like all.
Some people were sleeping. Some people had no idea. Well, you were off it.
Yeah.
Some people like some of our other service team, but our staff and Holder like we
like
can't.
Friday's
show
a good social media day. Like everybody's on Instagram or TikTok first thing
Yeah.
Friday morning. Like nobody's working first thing in the morning, right?
No.
Everyone's having their coffee break. Like, oh, it's lunchtime. Like you didn't even make it to
That's
lunch.
why it didn't even make it to lunch. But that was the whole thing is that after once people got the word of it was pretty. And then we got the messages from on like the Parlour. So it was like, screw it, I'm still coming. So it's like, I guess you could play it off the any press is good, bad press, any good
no such thing as bad press.
or bad marketing. So
No,
overall
100%.
success.
And just like it aligns with everything you're doing. Obviously, we'll talk about Parlour and Deer Lady, but like the Sundays here are the vibe. Like Thomas Jacques that was an amazing day.
It was sick. And like our whole new how I wanted to like kind of set up our events this year, like with obviously Deer Lady launching in November. Everyone knowing that like we have an established Sunday, but it was like really taking our Sunday and our just like show brands like to a higher level. So it's just like, let's put in more production. Our mom brunches are coming up, and this Bacardi did like partnered with us for that Thomas Jacques event. Yeah, we might have like I definitely overspent a little bit more than I should have, but it also set us up for success to what we have coming and what we're going to do. And it also like pushed the boundaries of like creativity and everything within the venue, where it's like, I've always wanted to do a really cool setup like that. But then I love Thomas. He's an amazing guy. So we went for brunch. We had some fun with him. He didn't want to leave.
I literally texted him out. I'm like, how'd your like Facebook marketplace move go the next day?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but the funny part about it is that regardless of the fact that even if like you DJ'd or I DJ'd, it was just like the wow factor that once people saw that and they were like, they were in bed or they weren't going to come out, people just came out because they said, what the hell is going on? People thought this was like people thought that when I was posting this, I was still in Miami because I literally had flown back that night to come back from Ultra to come to that. So it was
well, it's cool. Also like, Sundays now in Toronto, I feel like before we used to have the brunch back here. Like I was too young for it. It wasn't really my vibe back in the day. But like the last, I guess even before COVID, last like 3 or 4 years, like Sundays have like started to like really develop in the city. And a lot of people are trying to do their own things. But like Parlour, I guess started. When did Parlour open? What? 19?
We opened in 2019, sidelined by pandemic. We came back harder with the Sunday start here, literally a year ago of like when me and Sean were thinking about like, wow, like literally it was like the end of March is when I was like, let's really push for Sundays. And like, again, I'll credit to like Laissez-Faire for doing like disco brunch because that was like the only real like new wave of our generation for day parties. Yep. And then once that happened, I kind of just was like, well, if anyone can do it, we can do it because we have the beautiful venue that's like
bigger space.
You still feel like you're outdoors. It's inviting. Yep. It's like it's a day party vibe.
And the thing about like right now is that time where the weather's starting to turn and everybody's itching.
Exactly.
Like yesterday, I was insane. Yesterday being Sunday, I was insanely hungover, and I saw someone posting. I'm like, that looks like a vibe.
Maybe
I should go.
And the best thing,
I should go.
And the best thing is that
I think about how many people are exactly like me that just end up going. They're like, fuck it, I'm hungover. Let's just keep the party going.
No, but that's exactly keep the party going. People come here for brunch, and then it's like our DJ starts at 2 or 3, usually 3 o'clock, and then it's like the vibe. So I came back here because we had a really amazing buyout that we had up here, but we had the vibes going because a lot of the people that were up here for the event were downstairs before. So we had the influx of people. So it's just like, again, social media. People are like, oh my God. Should I come out? And people are like, I don't know how you keep me. And we call it the vortex. It's like, I don't know how you keep us in the vortex like for the whole weekend. And it's like, it's pretty cool just to see now that we've established a really, really cool party and just a place to be during the day on a Sunday.
I think this entire year, basically, if I wasn't away that week, I think I've been here at some point almost every single week this year.
Yes.
Like, think about it. You launched like half price wine on like Mondays to Wednesdays. I think I came like the first 3 weeks, like randomly. Just like, let me grab some oysters and some wine. And then I think Sundays I've been here, once a month at least?
At least whenever you're in the city.
Basically, whenever I'm in the city. And then, Dear Lady, I find myself here too. And I'm like, fuck, I need to stop going out in Toronto. Sticking on Parlour.
Yeah.
Thomas Jacques was the first one of the year, and that was a rager.
Right.
What else can you tell us that you have lined up this year?
So when is the podcast launched?
This will be released next week.
Okay, so if you release this next week, I'll give the artist announcement right now.
Okay, perfect.
Is that tomorrow at 12 p.m. we're launching here in Deer Lady our April artist, and that's Hitty. Hitty's like a UK tech house artist that is blowing up in his own right because of his remixes. So he ties a lot of hip hop with like tech house and like banging beats. Yeah. He's kind of been like a little bit of a viral sensation, and I'd seen him. So basically what we're trying to do too, not in Parlour, but in Deer Lady especially, is kind of just like the smaller, like up and rising stars that we can get at a good price to put in like a very intimate room.
But yeah, because you can't put 1,000 people in this room.
No.
Like, what's capacity in here?
Well, capacity is 180. We push like maybe 200.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of it is like it's table service, no
Yeah.
dance floor. Also, for the people who aren't watching on YouTube, we are currently recording in Deer Lady. This is kind of like, I guess, my second, third studio now, I guess.
I guess because now we're thinking about a residency here.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe this corner right here.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to announce that's like Hitty is our April Deer Lady artist. So that's a hot take for you.
Okay. We love the exclusives.
Yeah.
You know what I was actually talking about someone the other day? I miss the days where like, and comes from like the promo days where like me and all my friends would go out, we'd get a table and like chill there and grab balls. Because someone said the other day, it's like, Ricky, anytime you get to a venue, we don't see you. You just wander around the whole day. Like you're always like talking to people and making friends or just wandering. Like, I love doing that. You know me, I can't sit still.
Right.
But when we used to go out like 10 of us, get a table, like, a bunch of guys, a bunch of girls, we'd have fun and sit there. Now I'm like, I literally don't remember the last time like I went out with my friends to like a nightclub and got a table.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to like organize a group of people now. Like it's just like birthdays.
Yes.
Or like some sort of engagement party or something.
Well, and that's kind of the thing where it's just I feel those are still consistent where it's like you're celebrating a birthday, like any kind of achievement, bachelorette party, those kind of things. You still have like the table the table concept where you want your group to have like a home base. And then what we've done with Deer Lady, obviously we're like table heavy up here to like buy bottle service, but what we see a lot is that we'll sell like 50 to 75% of the room before like the week, like before the night starts. And then after, everyone just gets the vibe and they're like, I want a table. Yeah. Because they want that home base, they want that security, and they just want a place to pop off one, or they're like, wow, this place is really special because how we've created the room.
Do you get a lot of people that like have dinner downstairs and then come up?
Or
is it people that get dinner downstairs, stay downstairs?
A lot of people love the Parlour ride. So that's the whole thing too, is that when we created Deer Lady, we wanted to be a different experience from Parlour. Yeah. Parlour is like your standalone, like anything goes, anything can happen. You have dinner that then turns into make what you want, basically, is how we kind of say it. And then after we say the Parlour made you do it. But Deer Lady was the whole focus of like transforming like our concept just on a higher level. Obviously from our amazing, beautiful design from Chris, one of our partners, he did an unbelievable job with like insight from us to build the room. But then it was like, okay, what can we do differently? And with me being inside the marketing realm and the events, I was like, well, there's no real good place other than like your massive clubs and a few other places just doing house music. So I wanted to revolve everything around house music, whether like the genres are like in between, but like just first of all, it brings like a mature crowd. It's high energy. It's good. It's not for everyone, but with our like DJ, our residents now that all play, because I don't just have like one certain person. I do have people that I use more now.
Like a rotation or something?
A rotation, usually around 5 or 6 people. But now some of the guys just know how to play the room so perfectly that if someone's like a EDM like festival main stage person that loves your like Calvin Harris's, your the bigger people, but they'll be in here and then they'll be setting like a more of a house deeper vibe. Sometimes they stay within the room because like our sound system, the vibes of it all is just something. And a lot of people that come into Deer Lady, they say it's like it's very New York, it's very different. It's I'd have to say, out of all the rooms inside the city, the nicest room that like you like come into. That is not like anything else. Even
like the exposed brick, the wood beams, everything. You kept like this because this building's got to be fucking old.
Yeah, it's like it's early 1900s.
Yeah, exactly. So like you feel that you're in like. Honestly, yeah, a good, cool New Yorkie spot. Yeah. Like a Soho, Chelsea spot.
People that come from New York are like, this is very New York.
Yeah.
And that was a lot, I think, behind the design concept was like that, like art lofty, as you see some of the graffiti stuff, where it's just like you just go down the alley, you go up an elevator or stairs, and then you walk into this room that just is like, whoa, what is going on?
We weren't
here?
expecting that.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's like sensory overload because there's just so much going on from our lighting rigs to the lighting rig, to the sound, to the DJ, to the people, to the flow of the bar. We're one of the only places inside the city that has like a center bar. So that's like, so even like the sight lines everywhere, it's like you can be on the backside, you see everything, you see the DJ, and it's the flow of the room that works really well as well.
You know what's so funny? Like I've been here numerous times now, and even we were there the other day, we were there during the day, but when you're sober somewhere like with the lights on, You don't really like. There's so much I miss. I didn't know that wall, like that whole wall design. I didn't realize these mirrors and stuff.
Yeah.
Mind you, I've never been in this little area here.
This area is like the hidden gem when you have a lot of people. When we were opening up in November and before the mirrors were actually here, because we put that as like, hey, if we have a special guest like Drake comes by or something, we can close those, still have it as segregated from the room, but you still feel part of it. But when you actually sit up top of these and you look, and these are all open when you turn them, it's such a cool room to see from up here. And it just opens it up, and that's kind of what we want. But it's sneakily huge, too. Yeah. It's like, yeah, we hold like 180 to 200 people in here, but like you can fit 300 in here easily. With the vibe. So, yeah, it's been a really cool transition. It's literally finding its own legs, like Bambi into, I guess, like a mature deer. A mature deer, yeah.
No, but you know, it's true, though, because every opening has, like, the first couple of weeks are always going to be busy just because, like, friends and family, whatever, everyone wants to come check it out. Yeah. But then places take their own life. They kind of follow through with like, Lost and Found is one of the good ones I remember. I remember when they first opened to a year later, it was completely different, right? Remember, I think you did the Wednesdays or the Thursdays house music.
Thursdays, but that was, I used Mickey's mentality, whereas when they first opened, it was just Friday, Saturdays, and then the Monday. Yeah. Because it's like before you launch, and then you put like a ton of hosts doing all this stuff because you want to make sure your Fridays and Saturdays are your mainstay.
That's your money
maker.
You
have them, your money maker. You
pays
make
your
sure,
rent, pays your bills.
Exactly. It's like makes what the venue is, and then you do that one-off weekly that then like gives you that extra bit of flow, but then it's also something that like you can have a signature about. So what we did after our Fridays and Saturdays, there's not really a Wednesday. Like I remember I started the Escobar Wednesdays like 5-6 years ago with Maddie and the team, and then they then moved to Tuesdays, and there's not really a Wednesday spot. I guess the really only other place was Mr. Wolf. And then I went with the team. I was like, let's just make Wednesdays great again, to the point where it's just like everyone's buzzing around King West. We never do cover here unless it's a special event. We'll do like limited amount of tickets, and then the rest are all done guest list and bottles. But it's just like one of those pop-in things. It gives you a little bit more of an atmosphere. You come in, and then like progressively as the night goes, like our Wednesdays will be like easy grab drinks at the bar. The bar is very heavy, and then people start to just buy booths once it just starts going. So
well, that's what happened. When was I here? After the après ski party, I think I sat at the bar the entire night. Mind you, I was on one that night. Yeah. But yeah, I sat at the bar the entire time. And that was the first time I've been to like, I guess, a club and sat at a bar.
Right.
I don't think I've ever done that before in my entire life.
Which is kind of cool is that how we position is that no matter if like sitting at the bar or at a table, you still feel like you're a part of the party. Yep. And how we position the bar in the center, it works really well. I kind of now sitting in most other than my couch beside, my other like favorite spot is on this sort of backside at the bar and just doing a bottle and then watching it from over there.
100%.
It's a better vantage point, and it's just like a really cool vibe at the backsides, which is kind of cool as well. So.
Do you know what's interesting now too is that I feel like at least in Toronto, maybe even other places too. I don't know, maybe you got some insight to this. I feel like the idea of big clubs are kind of dying down now. Like
they're meant for shows.
But like even in Toronto, what big clubs do we have? History is technically a club, I guess.
But one of the best music venues inside of the city because of it's how it's perfectly sized to what it is, but it only really does shows.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like if I'm going to do a show, I'd rather do it at History than Rebel.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like Rebels, it's a massive club still, but what other than that, what other big clubs are there? I guess Toy Box?
Toy Box is your other one.
And that's like, a 1,000-person room or something.
So from what I've heard is that there are a few new concert like club venues opening up, because I feel within like the live music game or like DJ game is that like there's enough room within the city for everyone to kind of like space around. Okay. Where it's just, we'll see where that goes in the next little while, but I know for a fact that there's 3 new venues opening with like caps of going to like 1,500 plus.
Oh shit! Yeah, like in the city or like on the outskirts?
In the city.
Okay.
And then outside the city, a Woodbine racetrack is because we do the GreenWood Stakes there. For this year, they're doing the brand new casino beside Woodbine, which then has a huge amphitheater that's being built inside there, which is going to be.
They're putting a hotel there too, no?
Correct. So it's like a trifecta for them: new casino,
racetrack,
amphitheater, racetrack. Oh, 4, sorry.
And hotel.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess within its own self that, like, there's always going to be those bigger spots. But then at the same time, it's like, I feel people are gonna, that's like the destination venues that you go to.
You
But it's
can't
like,
wander there.
right? But like somewhere within King West, we can offer these cool things. And what like Sean has always told me, and like our like, sorry, not told, but it's like our concept around is what we were trying to build within Deer Lady, and then like what we're bringing to Parlour. It's like bigger DJs or DJs in a small room. So it's that intimate vibe of like the boiler room setup, because we do have the DJ booth in the middle of the dance floor that's like kind of there. So it's like you feel it. So that was like kind of really cool up here, doing our first DJ event on St. Patrick's Day in Deer Lady with Ferric Dawn. And that was my first, I was super nervous, just being like, I don't know if this is going to work, but it worked out perfectly in the way that it was. And everyone was vibing. And it's just like a lot of the people that would never come here, they go to your Codas or all those other smaller, intimate, like music venues. And they're like, wow, I've never been here. And it's like, thank you so much, because it's like, they're literally in an arm's reach from a DJ. Which is kind of cool, kind of scary.
Oh. Well, even like Thomas Jack, like literally random people are just coming up, and you could literally just walk into the booth.
Exactly, and you could
especially when you get a DJ who's like cool and like with the vibes. He was not like, don't fucking touch me. It's like, come on, let's groove.
Yeah, Thomas was pretty easy going as you saw it. And the funny thing about Thomas too is like after that is that he didn't want he didn't want to leave, to the fact that he's just like, oh shit, like. Dude, mate, you gotta book me again. You gotta book me again. I want to do a 5-hour stay. He's like, I'm gonna miss my flight. Fuck, I don't know. And he's just like one of those. But that felt really good, because once they saw it, they're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And then their management, artist team, agents and everyone start to see what we're doing. So
what you can build and everything.
And
like,
well, it just helps us for future bookings, because now 100%. They see what we can do.
Yeah, 100%. And downstairs, like you don't need the DJ, right? It's not like if you don't have the DJs, your Sundays are going to suck, right? There's other venues that they do one-offs, and if it's not for the special event, nobody's going there. Exactly. Right? Sometimes they're not even open or something. Well,
that's the thing.
You guys don't need to, because again, you have good food. The vibe that you guys have, I guess, curated over the last year and a half, whatever it's been, is that, okay, you're going out on a Sunday, you're popping into Parlour at some point throughout the day. Mm-hmm. Whether you're coming in for lunch and you might stay, or maybe you're going to go to disco brunch and then come here after. Like there's enough people in the city that go out on a Sunday that you don't need to even like compete. It's like, hey, you know what? You're gonna have your people that love LF, and that's fair. And then you're gonna have your people that love Parlour. You're gonna have your people that do both. Right. Some people, like, I'm sure there's times where you probably do both too, right?
I do both, and the thing is
that
friends, like you've already said, is that like we've created the culture, we created the vibe just for moving forward, which is really, really special to see what we've created and what we've done. And now that it's like, you're right, we don't need a DJ to do it. It's just like that one. We just need to put a little bit more, but like a little bit more to it, just to like kind of like tease people, because in May we are launching our mom brunch, which is like our mainstay one that we did the year before.
Yeah.
And there are partners again throughout the year to produce these really, really cool events, from our mom brunch in Vancouver and Toronto, and then we're doing a Toronto yacht party again. So May 28th.
Did that, was it last year or 2 years ago?
Last year. So last year was the comeback after COVID. So that's why we decided to do everything. So we do 4 parties with them a year. And the Mom Brunch Toronto is on May 28th, Sunday, May 28th. So if you saw what we did on Thomas Jack, we're going to do some really crazy stuff for this one, like on another level.
Okay.
Which is going to be cool.
Hey, no, you know what? You screwed me last Mom Brunch. Remember that? I literally brought my mother.
Yeah, you brought.
And you put me in like one of the, there's no bad table, but you didn't put me in a good one. So you owe me this year.
I owe you? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, done. Okay. I'll put you at a better table. But usually you're already wandering around. If it wasn't for your mom, you would have been wandering around.
I gotta say pulling a lane there.
Yeah.
Do you know the nice part is when like my friends don't. So don't get me wrong, I love my friends. I love going out with the squad.
Yeah.
But I said this the other day when when was it? Last Sunday when I came to Thomas Jack.
Yeah.
Georgie's like, who you going with? I'm like, solo. He's like, why, you didn't invite anybody? I'm like, I invited the squad. Nobody came. Like my my like 5 or 6 go-to guys. Yeah. Nobody responded, so I'm going alone.
DB, eh? Not even.
No, he was out of town that weekend. That's why. But I said, when I go alone, it's always nice, because then like, if I want to buy a bottle, I'll buy a bottle. I don't have to like be like, hey guys, you want to split a bottle, whatever. I can sit at your table, and I know I got a good table there. It's like, you can kind of do, when I wander, nobody cares that I wander, because I'm there like alone.
You're buzzing, yeah.
What are the odds on a Sunday that you don't know people at Parlour? Like,
but that's the whole thing, is that again, is the community feel. Everyone knows your name and that, and we've built that culture around, which is really sweet. And I'm excited to what the summer is. Like we already know that also everyone else inside the city is going to be doing a ton of stuff throughout the summer. But again, another, I wouldn't say spoiler alert, but there are some really cool stuff that we're going to be launching throughout the summer on Sundays to do some really cool stuff, activations and other exciting stuff to keep like our brand and just like the party keep rolling. But like you can't really go wrong with all of our pricing and to what it is. Like you said, we have like everything that people really want. So but again, you buzz around because after people are done partying here, or depending, it's like everywhere else, it's like everyone starts at Parlour. If you go home and you're smart, you get sleep and you can wake up on a Monday. But if you want to be full craziness and go later, it's like you're ending at Marble, you're ending at another spot, you're on the bar at Locals Only doing some other crazy stuff. So it's like it all, like, I will say that we contribute really well to everyone else around here.
100%. You know what I love about Sundays? I love and I hate, because I've done both sides. Sundays are good because if you drink on a Sunday, you start drinking, let's say noon 1. By 7 or 8, when the party starts to die down, you're ready to go home most of the time. Most of the time. On the flip side, when you don't go home, like when you're supposed to.
No, you get into witching hour.
Oh, man. I've had a couple Sundays where I've gone out after.
It's 8 to 1 a.m.
It's, that's why Saturdays. I refuse to drink on Saturdays anymore because I always go out Saturday night. So if I drink on Saturday during the day, I'm still going out at night.
I'm not a huge advocate of Saturdays anymore.
I just love a good, like, you wake up, and I go for a run almost every like Saturday or Sunday morning, or a walk down King.
That was also what you said to me on Thomas Jack, because you're training for the Ironman. So you said, you're like, I already did like a 10, 15K round. I'm like, you're crazy.
Yeah. So once you do that and you start walking back, and usually I start walking from Bathurst to Spadina. That's my walk down King, like my cool down. And you see people and everyone's walking their dogs, and then, girls got their athleisure shit on. Boys are like, they got their outfits, they're ready to go. You walk by Locals, you kind of peep in. Anybody in there right now? No. You see a couple people having drinks on Ruby, like, all right, this is going to be a Sunday or a Saturday, whatever day of the week it is, right?
But like also people are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel right now, because after, like, we had our harsh bit of winter in the last 4 weeks. Yep. And then now this past weekend with the hotter weather and everything.
We hit double digits like 5 times in the last 10 days.
And that's the exciting thing for not only the Masters starting this weekend, which usually like signifies summer's coming, but then it's like now the vibes on the Sundays alone are just going to be so much greater, because people, when it's hot, you want to drink, you want to just like keep that vibe going. And it's something about, well, it's God's day, but God's day makes you want to just have so much more fun. Yeah.
Man, I was even thinking about it. Like, fuck, this Sunday's Easter. I'm like, how do I go out on Easter? Like,
what's your lineup though?
I'm going to Halifax, actually. I booked it today randomly. No, just I needed a place that was kind of close that I haven't been to that's got good fish, and Halifax was where I settled. I literally booked it like a couple hours ago.
Have you not been? That's
never been to Halifax.
Okay, so I haven't been either. I have a little bit of family out there. They have invited us out there to their cottage, and I've never done it either. There was a show that Frank was going to do, and it just got canceled. So it was like, that was my one spot where I was like, oh, I got to go there just for work. But now I've heard beautiful things, amazing things about it, and that's the east part of our beautiful country we haven't been a part of, that I've not been a part of yet, that I really want to experience.
I was even thinking, I was like, I could drive to Montreal, but if I drive to Montreal, it's still 5 hours. I'm like,
that's far.
The flight is 25,000 points and $100 in taxes. Like, our Easter plans got canceled, the side note, but I was like, fuck, Mom, Dad, like, you guys want to go to Halifax? It's really cheap. Like, I've got enough points. I'll book everything. Hotel, I pay like $100 or something. Like,
that's not fair.
So I'm going to go out there, have myself a time.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I think Easter's also that like spot where you also know that the weather's going around. Yeah. It obviously snuck up so fast. Like, March is just so nuts in itself. Like, literally March Madness, because that's like St. Pat. Like, all events kind of really start to skyrocket from there. Yeah,
and it's that time of the year where it's like, okay, so if you're still in school, this exam season, you're basically done exams in 2 weeks.
Is that what it is?
Well, yeah, April was always exam season for us, remember?
Oh, man.
Fuck, it's been like a decade,
A decade.
But it's like, exams are done, so the young people want to go out. For all of us kind of like older people, the weather turns.
We're old.
We are old. I got my grays are coming in so fucking bad. It's like every time I get a haircut, she's like, Grays, you want me to put that thing in on your hair I was telling you about? I was like, no, I don't want fucking dye in my hair. I don't mind going gray. I'll go gray. I'm okay with it. But anyways, it's like, now the weather turns, you just had that long winter. I'm like, I'm itchy now. Fuck. But now I gotta be careful, because again, training for this Ironman is gonna kick my ass.
When is that?
It's in Muskoka, July 8th.
Oh, you're doing that one.
Yeah. So I
remember Michael Latifi used to do.
Yeah, but he's legit. He's like,
is he still going?
I don't know, but I remember I used to follow him on Instagram a while back, and like he's legit. He used to do him like sub 5 hours, I think, something ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Like I'm aiming to do like 6.5.
That's still an accomplishment itself.
Just finishing is an accomplishment.
100%.
So I said this April, May, June are like I'm drinking once a week unless I'm out of town.
Okay.
Then I'm allowed to drink twice a week. So I'm actually going to try.
So in Halifax, you're going.
No, it's a family trip, so I'm good. I don't need to drink. There's no itch to drink when I'm with Elaine and Frank. You have a couple beers while you're like,
come on, Elaine,
chugging down oysters.
And you.
Yeah, we're not turning up, and we're not turning up. We're not going to turn up in fucking
Your mom's
Halifax.
TikTok is the funniest.
Yeah, shout out Elaine, Mom.
Yes,
love you.
She is awesome. That I've been watching it. It's really cool. She's having so much fun with it, which like. It's fun to see like baby boomers getting into that realm of social media now. And if they can grasp it and really go with it, that's the stuff that will go viral.
It's the thing is, it's, you know what? Social media is different to every single person. Like even there's days where like weeks where right now, like I'm just like, I'm done with it. I need to focus
you
on
treat
this.
it as like some sort of a business.
Yeah,
Your mom is just having fun with it.
Yeah. And it's like, if you can have fun with it and post and just like, you're not addicted to it or spending like 3 hours a day on it, man, have your fucking fun. People are like, even when I used to do it, people are like, oh, that video's so dumb. It's like, Caitlin, don't fucking watch it. Some other people like it. Like, you're chirping me about a video that went viral. Like, what are we talking about here, right? And then Elaine's just having fun. She's down. They just got back.
But do you consider yourself a TikToker?
No.
Come on.
No. I think whatever brings you the most amount of revenue, that's
Okay.
what you are.
Okay.
In my opinion, right? Like,
you're a hybrid then.
construction makes like my money.
You're living.
I'm a full-time construction worker, part-time content guy.
There you go.
Actually, you know, someone said that because I said TikTok, and they're like, "Wait, don't you have a podcast?" So like, you're a content guy. I was like, "All right, I'll take that." Content guy.
I guess that's the like mature.
Yeah. Well, there's
like
influencers like that low level, like you don't want to be called an influencer. Then there's your content.
It's like
creators.
influencers now have that bad rep because you're an influencer.
Well, man, remember that? I don't. This is a little off topic, but remember that like some random girl got roasted online because she was like super rude in person at like an event, and some random like young girl met her and she was like super rude or something in New York. I don't know. Everyone was talking about it. I don't know, maybe 2 months ago. Anyways, I'm trying to kind of eliminate my TikTok time too. It's tough now because with the pod, this is obviously how you promote, right? Like,
and I've said the same thing with Instagram, but like I would love to get rid of Instagram. I would love to make my profile private just to like kind of like showcase who I am, to decide who it is. But it's like I need to make it a public figure profile just because I have to promote.
Well, you are the face of this place.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like you know,
it's hard, but it's just like I wish. Sometimes you just wish like Instagram was what Instagram was made for, like just a picture rather than like the full on video content. But it's like innovation of everything else. It's cool.
One thing that is nice, and this doesn't really help you with it, but this is what I found, that you can start scheduling posts on everything.
Right.
Now.
I saw
so
that.
Like even today last night I scheduled some posts for this week, so I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about it.
It's within Instagram now rather than doing the Hootsuites and whatever.
Yeah. Because what I started doing is I don't delete Instagram. I just delete the actual app off my phone.
Right.
So like my profile's live all week long. And then sometimes, like you're talking to someone, so I'll check on my computer at work, but I'm not going to be scrolling on my computer at work. No. I scroll on Instagram anytime I'm in the bathroom, anytime I'm on a couch, anytime I'm in my bed. Sometimes I pick up my phone and I just scroll, and I'm like, I just did this 5 minutes ago. What am I doing? Mm-hmm. Like TikTok, I don't even scroll that much though, like because Instagram's. I feel like us older people, like Instagram's more of our shit than TikTok, because like 100%. That's what we not grew up, but that's what we had in our 20s.
Well, I was saying this the other day, is that like I missed the BlackBerry. I miss my
BBM pings. Remember that?
I remember it was.
Remember that on Friday night?
Up on Carlin.
Yeah.
Way back. I miss that. I miss that age a bit, but like, don't get me wrong. It feels like it's coming back, but it won't come back. But I miss that direct contact. Like, those were your friends. That was your thing. You put your status or MSN when you did that, because how I was thinking about it was like going back to the April Fool's joke, where it's like, if I were to have pulled that like 10 years ago, it would have never got to the scale that it was. Right? It was like our old school promoting, which is just like, some of those things are just so much better, where I love calling people more, or the FaceTimes are great. Like, you FaceTime me all the time. We FaceTime each other, but I love doing that with my friends. It's just like, you just feel that more personal welcome rather than like, you're not just a pawn. Man,
the promoters these days, or event hosts, whatever you want to call them, will never know what it's like to do like actual promo work. Now it's like you get a promoter, they make a TikTok and they make a couple like Facebook or Instagram like stories, and like, oh, that's promo. It's like, they'll never remember what the days were like when we were scouring like Facebook for birthdays a month in advance to message every single person.
And that's what I
like manually,
you know what? But it's like Facebook owns Instagram, so I am so rattled that they haven't put the birthday function, because if that were to happen, I'm going back to that tactic.
Man.
That tactic was tactic.
You're shooting 90%.
Exactly. You know those birthdays are coming up, and that's like the whole thing now. Is that what we'll be launching on Deer Lady very soon? Is that like if you have a birthday, come celebrate with us, and we're going to be incentivizing people to do that. But that was the
campaign or something,
right? 100%. But that was the one thing that I love Facebook for, as being as starting as a promoter, and you were doing that. It was just a tool to help you. Or it's just like, we didn't have Instagram, so it's like, I remember Dollar Beers and Jack's, where I literally was posting the free limo, but I was posting flyers on like literally
on
in all
telephone
the student
poles and
telephone
shit.
poles. It was you had the cards on the corner,
flyers.
Like when like Frog was doing the thing, I just had those. We paid like a couple of like peons to do it like down at Jim Bob's, so they would then come down, because that was a free cover thing to come in.
Man, there were so many things that they
cover. I miss cover. I miss cash. Dude, we don't charge
let me ask
cover.
you.
Okay.
Hold on, let me ask you this.
There's no cover anymore. Apparently Isabel's does cover. I didn't even know. Apparently.
I haven't been yet. I've been meaning to go. I ran into Cam. Actually, I ran into Cam here last week, and I've been meaning to go.
Yeah. I thought it was great to see him.
Me and him actually had a good conversation. Actually, I got a message Cam. Shout out to Cam if you listen.
What's up, Cam?
I want to ask you this. I saw this hot take.
Okay.
These girls from Montreal, they have a podcast called My Chemical Podcast. Something like that. Anyways, My Chemical Podcast. And they just talk about like dating, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So their hot take was, it is a red flag or a massive turnoff if men don't carry cash all the time with them. Do you care? First off, do you carry cash? Yes or no?
I do, because
you carry cash.
So I've been carrying it more lately, just for those things where if the bartender like from afar is too rang up for me, because like they're whipping and like assholes that are like the people that are like ordering your espresso martinis at like 12:30 a.m. and they're still shaking. Like a perfect example is at Laissez-Faire, and it's like the guy beside you just like done like 4, and one of the bartenders is making it, and it's just like, you can't pay your bill fast enough, so it's like, here's the cash, I know it will cover it, here you go, I can then dip.
Yeah.
But what my dad always taught me is that you should always be rolling around with $200 in your pocket, always. And I've always kind of had, and I've been using that mentality now that like I can afford to have $200 in my pocket all the time.
Back in the London days,
no,
$20.
And like, and just in its own self, it's like, I guess like I've matured enough to then, and like got to a point where I can do that now. But cash is not always king anymore, but I feel in that part. But whenever I go to the US, I always have cash.
Okay, yeah.
I always have cash.
In a different country, I agree
always,
with that.
but here, the digital age is always like that. But I wouldn't say it's a red flag.
No, I saw that. I was like, I literally commented on it, saying like, in no way. First off, a lot of places don't even accept cash anymore.
Correct.
Like, you have homeless people that literally accept like fucking tap now in the States, or like what are they called, buskers?
Well, a lot
like
of Venmo. A lot of stuff is like when you go in. So at Live Nightclub with when the bathroom attendants, they'll have their Venmo thing, and
or they have tap and stuff.
Exactly.
So I was like, man, that's I don't know, that's a little bit of a hot take. But again, you know what's funny? You said your dad told you that. My dad always carries cash.
Yeah.
My dad will never not have cash.
And that's the thing, is that I remember always going to the bank with my dad, and then he would always go reload his wallet and always have it there. And it always was that thing that I saw that I was like, one day I always want to be able to do that and just have it there.
How much cash you got in your pocket right now? I'm about to see if you actually do this. Yeah, let's see.
I have a $50 American bill.
That's probably still from Miami too.
Yes, but then I also heard another hot take is that to be financially sound with your money, how long can you keep? I think there was something. Sorry, not a hot take. I think like there was another thing that I had heard, that can you keep $100 in your wallet without spending it? Could you ever do that?
Oh, easily.
But this is the whole other thing too, is that you usually forget about it. I had that because I just was in Miami, and that's the thing. Whenever I'm in the US, I always carry cash. I always have that cash because cabs are quicker, they're easier. The tipping, now I dislike how the U.S. currency is all the same color. I love our monopoly money,
And I
Our
love
monopoly
how
money-
it's plastic too.
and that's huge.
Oh, huge.
Right. So that's another big thing. But overall, yes, carrying cash, I think, is key. I wouldn't say it's a red flag. I just think with the new age of stuff that you don't always need cash.
I'm going to tell you a funny story. I'm going to put myself on blast here a little bit. Any women that I've either gone on dates with or I'm trying to go on dates with are going to listen to this and be like, you're an asshole or something. So I was in Vegas, right, with Loud Luxury.
Okay.
We had a crazy day. Crazy day.
It looked like it. I saw when you put on the...
And when I'm in Vegas, you always have cash to start the trip.
Correct.
But I never have cash ever, somehow. I just like, you go gambling, you lose it. Got no cash. So we're leaving. I meet this woman, beautiful. We're having fun. We leave together, right? She's like, oh, my friends are coming. Like, we got to drop them off at Luxor first. I was like, sure, no problem. Go to get an Uber. It's like 12 minutes away. I was like, fuck it. Let's just jump in one of those like black SUVs. So, like, it's going to be like, whatever, $70 or something. I got no cash in my pocket, right? No big deal. So we get in. I was like, I got credit card. I'll pay. We get to Luxor. I go to pay. So whatever. The girls start walking. I'm paying, finishing up. And, it's a good, like, a minute probably to pay, right? A minute, maybe 90 seconds to pay, like tip,
Right.
let it go through. And girls start walking, so I pay. I start walking. By the time I catch up to the women, we're about, 100 feet from the limo.
Yeah.
Don't I follow the wrong women? I get up, so I was like, oh shit. And mind you, like, I'm looking like I do when I leave this place or like when I leave like a Parlour Sunday. So I'm not like in the right state of mind. And yeah, I ended up following the wrong women. Didn't get their number, nothing. So I guess I have a video of me and the girl. So yeah, now this is my lesson learned. I need to carry
Hot takes.
If I carried cash, that wouldn't have happened.
My Chemical podcast or whatever. Just teaching you the ways.
I ran into one of the girls. I kind of know one from Instagram. Like we chat. I'm actually going to go on their podcast. They're based out of Montreal, so I'm there for F1 in June.
Nice.
So I'm going to go on there to talk about dating because now, according to TikTok, I'm a dating person.
You always have been.
Not really.
Yes, you have. Come on.
just
Your
'cause
content is all around the hopeless
that's
romantic.
TikTok.
But
I'm actually
okay.
changing. I'm changing.
Wow, rebranding. I
I'm-
saw the reel today.
That's why I'm putting.
reel.
That's why I'm putting. Like, I'm not posting as much because I need the algorithm to like go silent
you?
for a bit,
Okay.
so then I could start fresh.
Rip
That's
it.
the
Okay.
goal. We'll see. But no. So I was in LA and I'm like randomly sure I look up. I'm like, this girl looks really familiar. I'm like, but what are the odds that I run into a woman that I kind of know who she is while I'm waiting to have brunch by myself on like in West Hollywood. So I go up to her, I'm like, are you Veronica? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I fucking know you. Like, small world. We ended up chatting, just completely random. But
Bing, bang, boom.
yeah, it's crazy.
But that's also social media working in its ways and wonders of just knowing each other. And just like where before you're never going to meet it was like getting the phone number, like you said, girls in Vegas, like you didn't have it. But now it's like the quick follow thing, or you can, if you know the group of people, if you you can find somebody.
Man, I've always said like more
It's very
women
fun.
need to be detectives, especially now with social media. That's a hot take. That's not a hot take. I lied. That's just
It's just the
a
way
hot
that it
comment.
happens. Yeah, it's just the way that it happens.
Oh man. Anyways, I want to get back. I wanted to talk about GreenWood Stakes because that's coming up. I still haven't attended one yet.
Yeah, I know. You're an asshole.
Mind you, there's always been other like life.
Saturday, September 9th, 2023 this year on the
Oh, you're
Saturday.
doing it later this year.
So we started it last year. So before me and my business partner Dax bought the full thing, Woodbine's also our partner. We decided we had always done it in like May and June when it first launched, and you're always again like we're an outdoor, like it's an outdoor event. It's horse racing, so it's like the gamble with weather in May and June is it's a tough gamble because it can either be super cold, it can be super hot, or it could just like that is also a rainier season. Tail end of September just works because everyone's just so excited about the summer. Cottages, concerts, festivals, the weddings, everything. After the summer's done, after Labor Day long weekend, it's like we're back. The city is buzzing on another level because everyone is home. So we decided,
and then there's also like a time limit on like how many weeks are left.
Exactly.
In September.
So
You
it's
know the
always
clock's ticking.
that once Labor Day happens, then it's like what is going next. So that's why Dax and I had decided let's do it the weekend after on the Saturday, make it that whole thing. It does align with TIFF. So we were like, hey, our goal is to build it into like eventually a monster. It already like last year was a very good year of like
how many people
we
do you
executed.
guys do?
So last year we do just over 1,500 people.
Oh fuck!
So this year's growing to like 2,300. Again, we're in the event space on the east side of the track. If you were to look at the 50-yard marker, then we're on the event space on the right-hand side. We were thinking, actually, tomorrow is our first call to do all of our organization to move forward to get everything going. But we wanted to take over the grandstands this year. But with all of the new construction and the launch of the casino and everything, we're going to wait until that's actually running for a full year to then do some really cool activation stuff to build it back over there.
Okay.
But the event space this year, we're really focusing. Last year was like the year back from COVID, introduce everyone back. I think everyone and their mothers thought it was an amazing time. And we're really focusing on more production, a better overall event than what it already is. And then the entertainment element, I can't tease anything yet, but like we're going to build something with some cool entertainment built in as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But you get dressed up. It's lifestyle event. So it's like entertainment from your cocktails, getting dressed up, the horse racing, which is fun in itself. So if you haven't done it before, just gambling, either if it's $3 to $5,000,
whatever your budget is.
But it's a great day, and it just, you feel special like dressing up. You like curate your outfit. Like 100%. I'm already getting my custom event from God Style. Mel, shout out to you. That's and Natasha, nice that have like the best custom suits ever. Like you get excited for those kind of things. So
it's also something different, right? Like
exactly.
We have Queen's Plate, and like that's like
King's Plate.
Isn't it called Queen's Plate?
But the Queen has just passed away. So now it is so they're rebranding to the King's Plate now. So what Woodbine is doing is that with this whole new thing of the King is that it's kind of giving itself their new fresh look. And don't get me wrong, the Woodbine team, since they're our partners too, of what they're activating, like building within Woodbine in the next bit is incredible. But you're going to see a lot of new stuff from them this year with that. And then tie off is like Queen King's Plate has been around for what, like 50 plus years? Yeah, 100 years. So
whatever.
It's been there. It's a mainstay of Woodbine and the Toronto like racing scene. Whereas like we are the new age of like bringing a cool factor to being like racing is cool again. Yeah. This is the way that you should be doing it. This is the way that this is introducing people that have never done it.
And there's people that like literally don't know anything about horse racing. They're just like, you know what, we want to get dressed up, we want to like go to a good vibe. Right. And sometimes again, like as much as I love, doing Parlour, doing King West, it's nice to change it up once a month or something, right? Like it's always nice to go to a different bar, a different venue to get dressed up. Like the outfit that you wear to Queen's Plate or GreenWood Stakes is not the outfit that you're wearing on King West.
Exactly. And that's the whole vibe of the event is that like you're dressing up for something different. You're going to have an experience that you never really have. And now that we've like built the base and the credibility of the brand, and now we're just keeping on elevating, which is like our goal is to go back over to the grandstands to then grow it to a large, like our goal is to go over like 10,000 people in the next like 3 to 4 years. But it's like, how are we going to do that? We're building a whole entertainment arm into it as well.
And then plus the rentals with them, that'll help a lot too.
Exactly. So it's like, I'm very excited for this year just because of what we're introducing to it. And then what we're going to be building on a larger scale over there is going to be incredible, to where it's like, wow, this is something really, really, really special. And then aligning it in the September range, it's like, it is TIFF. So the concept also behind that and the thought process is like, well, there's so many movie stars, they need other events to go to. And we work with a lot of the PR agencies. So it's like, hey, like bring out Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you're here.
You're already here. This is something for you to do. Something different than just being within the King West bubble around TIFF stuff. They have something else going on. So that's a goal that we can eventually get to that.
And it's like very like you see it happening, right? It's not like it's like unbelievable. Like it's the same thing with like Diplo thing, right? Like it's something that's very believable. You post about it. You can see something like that.
It gives you
happen.
the cred too, right? So like if anyone or movie stars that are going to be watching this come on September 9th alongside Ricky, because you have to come this year.
I'm just saying, normally I'm in Europe that time of the year. I'm usually in Europe. I usually go the last week of August to the second weekend of September.
Hot take now. Are you coming?
That being said, I'm not going to Europe this year. So I've decided so you know what, I should be able to come. And it is my birthday, September 6th. Which I think you missed. I think you missed last year, but it's okay. Maybe, I don't know. Can't remember. Yes, you did, because I did my birthday here the Sunday after, and you're like, I'll make up for it. And I think you gave me a bottle or something.
I think I celebrate something around that with you, but
it was something like that. Anyways, no big deal. I still love you either way. Ollie, before we wrap, we're almost nearing that time. I want to know any travel plans, anything else happening outside of kind of the stuff we talked about?
Yeah. So traveling out west of Vancouver.
Okay.
Going to be out there for Mum Brunch Vancouver. So our thing.
When is that?
That's the beginning of May on May 7th. So I'll be out west.
Okay, I love that.
We'll be out west again for the Dayton Cup, which is basically the sister, the big brother of the GreenWood Stakes.
Okay.
So I'm out there doing handling. So we have, actually, I don't know if I can say who I have.
Okay.
But actually... no, I don't think I can.
Okay.
But anyway, we have two really big artists for that event that I'm handling and making sure everything rolls well for. And then since I'm not touring with Frank anymore, so it's like I'm kind of just having that summer. Like I haven't had a Toronto summer. We just sold our cottage last year, so gonna rent a cottage in a different part. Like we were on Lake Huron looking to do that. There has been possibility of maybe Europe, but like right now it is super expensive. Whereas like just coming back from whatever, but I'm sure Frank's also playing in another city because now I'm in best friend mode. So now I can go to another show. So
and like actually like have fun, not work.
Exactly. Somehow he always makes me work, but anyway, but that's just what I love to do anyway. But other than that, no, I'm really excited about like going to a Bud Stage event, doing Bud, like, you know, just doing those Toronto things where I never really got to have.
Right, having a boat on a Saturday afternoon.
You got it. Like I haven't done that since before COVID. So
I know exactly what you mean because last year I ended up going to Europe, but I loved the city of Toronto in the summer. Like the winters suck, and like I'm very close to just saying like fuck this place.
Agreed.
Many times.
I'm the same.
But in the summer, like I'm talking once summer's like after like May 2-4 weekends, like the actual like start of summer, in my opinion. And that's when the city, like you have 3 months where every single day something's happening.
And that's the whole thing that I'm excited to get back to about, which this summer is going to be epic. I'm really excited for what we have here. I'm excited to what the city of Toronto and other stuff that we have, like the Jays new stadium, all that kind of stuff. Like that stuff what I'm really excited for. But just before we're closing off here, you've been tickling my ear about this new pickleball franchise of Toronto.
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about it with Frank and I over the thing and a few other people. So it's like we got to make this happen.
So I don't know if I can say this yet. Fuck it. They probably won't listen to this. I'm very close to getting a team in Toronto.
Right.
Like I'm very, very close. I can't say too much because I might get in trouble. I don't know. Or might actually fuck it. I don't think it's gonna hurt my chances because this is why I have a chance again is because I do this content stuff.
Correct.
But there's a new Canadian pickleball league. So you know the one in the States, the MLP, the Major League Pickleball, and that's like the big one. All the stars have invested in it. They have no plans to grow in Canada yet, which like whatever it is.
But you have to build something within Canada to then get yourself on the North American
pickleball is
scale.
not as big in South America as it is in North America. Okay, so Canada's the second biggest fucking country here. Like there needs to be a team, but as you see, like there's more tournaments. Every week there's a new tournament popping up somewhere in Canada.
Well, you're always in one.
Yeah, well, fucking so there's so many starting, right? Now the league's going to be just a Canadian folks league. So all the players will be Canadian and it won't work on the same weekends as like any of the major events in the States. So it won't hinder people that do travel to the States. Like there's so many Canadian pros that play in the States. Yeah. This will be a Canadian one. So I think I'm very close to getting one. And we'll see what happens. I know you'll come on board. Frank will come on. Adrian Simon says he's going to come on. Maybe we'll get the Loud Luxury Boys. And maybe that'll be our thing. We're like a music team, right? Like
the whole thing is that it's like if there's nothing much around it, but I think with getting the right people involved and like our support that people will want to come play for us or like we will get the better thing.
Or our home events will be big ones, right?
100%. Or we'll also be inducted to play. And then let's call it in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
The next 5 years, we will be a part of the North American.
Yeah,
thing.
I think
you have to start somewhere, but I think
but then maybe that the players on your team, maybe your players on your team are part of the Canadian Olympic team.
100%.
Like,
so what do you think the wage is? Like if we have the top player in Canada, well, how much are we paying him?
I no fucking clue, man. Mind you,
free parlor pizza.
Yeah, there's no salaries in pickleball, right? The top pickleball player in the world.
So we have to.
Pickleball player in the world, an American named Ben Johns, right? And the girls Anna Lee Waters. I think they like in prize money, maybe they clear like $100K, but that's prize money in the like 8 tournaments or 10 tournaments they play in, right? So it's not like it's like
we're getting in good then.
Potentially, man. You never fucking know. You never know. Anyways, wait. When was the last time we had you on? Was it? It was during COVID.
It was during COVID.
Was it at George's?
It was at this. It was at the podcast studio.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had you like
Way
late
back.
into year one, though.
Yeah.
So I was like hard.
No,
COVID,
it was the
though.
first one. First one I was done online, and we were like
we did.
FaceTime.
This is a third time.
This is my third time.
I think you're only like, okay, minus DB. You're maybe the second person that's been on 3 times.
That's huge.
No, maybe you're the first, actually. DB's been on like 4 or 5 times, probably. But I think your Crunch was on twice, maybe.
Yeah, so now I'm in. So what are you getting me?
I don't know. I might do merch again. I was
gonna say, but you have to have like a certain merch. So like, I want like the gold
yeah,
shirt.
the third
Or you buy
series.
me a pickleball racket that has like my name on it.
I'll get you
Or
something.
like, you know, if like you hit those certain tiers, that's what you got to do.
I'm gonna get you like a little
It's
nice
like Palm
microphone.
Tree Crew. Once you sign to the team, you get the like Kygo. And
Yeah,
the
you know
team
what?
give you, like,
Man,
the
we're
pendant.
on like a tight budget here. We got no fucking money here. Like, you know that. I'll get you
Well,
something.
recently.
Though.
Okay,
I'll get
cool.
you something. Ollie, as always, it's been a fucking pleasure. If people want to come check out Parlour and Deer Lady, where are they located?
642 King Street West, between Bathurst and Portland. Walk down the alley and you'll see what's up.
If they want to find out more about Parlour and Deer Lady, where can they go?
At the Parlour Restaurants on Instagram, at Deer Lady TO on Instagram, and then www.deerlady.com and www.theparlourrestaurants.com.
Do people still go to websites?
Yes.
Actually?
So many bookings and inquiries.
Really?
Yeah. I'm actually redoing our Deer Lady one because we just got
anytime I
beautiful
do anything, I
moves.
just go on Google and like, you know, when you type in the restaurant on
Right.
Google, you have that little like box on the side.
Well, that's what it has, and then it like links us to our page.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, yeah.
And then if people want to find out more about you and follow you and everything you're doing.
At Ollie Shanks on Instagram.
All right. Ollie, appreciate you.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end, we appreciate you. Thank you. Live
Thank
from
you.
Dear Lady, if you're watching on YouTube. And other than that, we'll see you next week, pals. Cheers.
Bye.
You like to
If you made it to the end of this episode, just know that I honestly, genuinely love you. Thank you so much for listening. Give you a little sneak peek into next week's episode. We have the DJ duo from Vancouver, Young Bombs. They just released their new single, Bad, and the remix is actually coming out next week. So this lines up perfectly. That episode was a very bad. No, I'm kidding. It was a great episode. These guys were amazing. We laughed. We joked. We just had honestly a really good time. And Ollie, who was just on this episode, was a co-host. So if you got a chance, stick around, listen, share this with your friends. I genuinely really appreciate you. Hit me up if you hear this. Maybe if I have some leftover Pals merch, I'll get you some. But other than that, we'll see you next week, guys. Cheers.